my name is Ken Sung. Recently, my brother and I have written a book called Migrating to Australia Good May. This book is about migrant life in Australia, well, as the name suggests. So what's so special about this book? I think this is probably the first book written by Malaysians about lives as migrants in Australia. Previously, we have seen a lot of books. These are written mostly by Americans or British. They tell you about a lot of facts and information about living in Australia, living and working in Australia, or migrating to Australia. But we haven't seen any books that are written by Malaysian from a Malaysian perspective. Currently, the book is already on the shelves of a lot of MPH and popular bookstore. In fact, they just gone out from our publisher's warehouse in PJ 2 days ago. So some of the shops might not still have it. You might want to call them up if you are going there this weekend, just to make sure that you don't come back empty-handed unless you want to do other shoppings as well. We have written this book to cater for three types of readers. The first type of readers are the readers who are tempted to migrate or interested in the idea of migrating, but are somewhat reluctant because they don't feel like throwing away everything that they have achieved. They have fought for, they have worked hard for, their career, their family, their relatives, their social life, their family life, everything they have built up in Malaysia. They are reluctant to give it all up just like that and take a flight out of Malaysia and call a new place, Australia, their home, their new home. The second group of customers or the readers that we try to cater to are the readers who are in the middle. So that's why we put them into the second category. We have three categories of readers. The second category of readers, we call them the fence-sitters. These are people who are not that tempted to migrate, but somehow they find that the future in Malaysia is not as bright as they wanted it, or they just feel that there's no way out, and probably the only way to get out of this is get out of the country. So these are the 50-50 fence-sitter, so to speak, right? Fence-sitters, so to speak. 50, half of them want to stay, half of them want to go, but they're not that tempted. But they are, mainly considering from a very practical perspective, right? Weighing the pros and cons, so to speak, and can't make up their mind. Whereas the first group, probably the English educated ones, or even not the English educated ones. I mean, today all the English schools are Malay schools or government schools anyway. Maybe some people are more Western oriented, and then they are always viewing Australia as a very tempting option, right? So that is the first group, and the second group is the 50-50 fence-sitters. The third group of readers that we try to cater to are readers who have already made up their mind. They know very well what they want, right? They know which country they want to migrate to, most likely which city as well. But actually, our book is also quite suitable for people who want to migrate to Canada or UK. But anyway, of course, a lot of real-life examples are taken from the Australian context, because we've been living here in Melbourne for the past 10 years. So this third category of readers have already made up their mind. Why should they read our book? Well, our book also provides a lot of practical, relevant examples, tips, stories of real-life entrepreneurs, migrants who came from Malaysia. Some of them been living here for 30-40 years, Some of them just came here within the last 10 years, and we interviewed them because we wanted to share with all our readers their tips to success, right? The mistakes they have made, how they have moved from being a disadvantaged migrant to be a successful entrepreneur that they are today. As we speak, their businesses, their careers are thriving. So we have also compiled some of these examples for our readers from the third category, right? The readers who already made up their mind that they want to go to Australia. And this book is retailing only for 25 ringgit. It's a very easy read, and we're using a lot of very simple, straightforward writing style. So I think it's a good book to have over breakfast or Sunday afternoon, before you take a nap or something like that. Probably you'll finish the book in 2 readings. 3 hours, 4 hours, you probably will finish reading the whole book. So for some of you, the avid readers, it's only about 150 pages, so it's not that thick also. And yeah, we talk about schools, we talk about education, how to find the best suburbs, like what are some of the pitfalls to avoid. Sometimes we might just think that, simplistically thinking that if I want to live in a good suburb, I will pay more. Then, the more I pay, the better the residential area will be. It's not always the case, right? And we tell you why. And also, some of the challenges that your children might face when they go to a new school, because being new to the culture, being new to the neighborhood, without friends, it's very easy to sometimes be singled out by the local kids, not only the white kids, but also sometimes the older migrants. And bullying is a big problem in Australia. Of course, there are some suggested solutions as well. And yes, I would say it's a very relevant book to almost anyone who are considering to migrate to Australia. And a lot of views that we present here, they are not found in the mainstream publication or mainstream media, because we all know how good Australia is. Mainstream media already painted that picture for us. But how true the picture, is really, we don't know. What you see from the outside. You can't just judge a book by the cover, right? Even people who have lived here as students, when they come here to live as migrants, they get a total culture shock. Because, like, for example, we came here in 1993, right, as students studying in university, and of course we fell in love with the place. That's why we came back, because we always have fond memories back on university days. But now, 2004, we came here as migrants. It's all a different story. It's a very different picture, because it's a totally different world. Anyway, the book is only 25 ringgit, and I'm sure you will get the value for money that you pay. It's not a lot, but the wealth of information can probably save you years of mistakes when you first settle down here as migrants. And some of you might, after reading this book, get rid of the temptation of migrating. Who knows? You make the decision. We provide you more information. Alright, thank you. Alright, bye bye.